Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. More Newcastle United transfer news. Yes, you heard that correctly. We are not done with the transfer news yet. Newcastle is now expected to make yet another signing with, by the way, this player is meant to be sensational, a really highly rated player. And in my personal opinion, I actually believe he's coming in as a first team sign. I'll explain why in just a little bit. But anyway, if you're new around here, make sure to get down there, hit that subscribe button. As I said in my last video, a huge video is coming up before the Bournemouth game. I don't know if it's going to come out tomorrow night or Friday morning, but I'm just saying another big video on the channel, so make sure you stick around for that. Get down there, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. And as well as that, make sure I get down there, smash the like button. And finally, question of the day. Newcastle versus Bournemouth is now on this weekend. Score predictions. How do you think we're going to play against Bournemouth? With all due respect to them, we should win. I'll be annoyed if we don't win, so... Score predictions, put them down below. What do you think the score is going to be? But yes, quickly on the topic of that. Obviously, my last video, I uploaded about 2 hours before the Premier League announcement. The game's beyond, and I think it was about 3 hours before Karius got announced. So, listen, I know this stuff, shall we say. No, but seriously, that was quite interesting timing. But yeah, Karius is now a Newcastle United player. I expect him to be on the bench on Saturday. And as for the Premier League games being on, I believe it's a correct call. Obviously, the games on Monday are off, but we play on Saturday, so that's fine. But yeah, that's about it for me. Without further ado, let's get into all the news now. I like to start this video off by talking about Dan Burn first, because quite a lot has happened with him from the last couple of days. So, first off, he actually went to the RVI a couple of days ago to see loads of kids that are currently getting cancer treatment. So, I thought it was brilliant to see a Newcastle United player go and just greet everyone. I think it's fantastic. So, as far as I'm aware, he did it with the foundation, and I think that's the first time any Newcastle player has went into the RVI since COVID-19 struck. So obviously that's going to take quite a while before we get the team back in. But I know the club used to go on a yearly basis around about Christmas time, so to see Dan Burn do that by himself, I think is incredible. So yeah, wholesome moment there, absolute legend. And speaking of Dan Burn, he did an interview yesterday as well, and I thought some of his comments were quite interesting. So first off, he's talking about how he knows he's a short-term fix at the club, but he doesn't want to be that. He wants to be there for the long run. He knows his ability and he wants to stay there. Now, it just reminds you that players aren't stupid. Everybody knows that Dan Burn was brought in because we didn't get Botman and Jam right, and the player himself knows that. So I just think that acknowledgement is just something to take in. He knows that he was brought in to be a short-term, but he's going to work his arse off to make sure that that's not the case. So yeah, I like that quite a lot. I do think he's a good football player. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not his biggest fan of left back, but I definitely think centre half he's a brilliant player. So yeah, keep it up, Dan. But yeah, I just thought I'd tell you guys about that now because I think that was brilliant to hear. Newcastle United's FIFA 23 ratings have all been leaked on the internet, and Bruno has actually reacted to his rating just due to how bad his card is. So let's put it on the screen here. 69 pace, 67 shooting. What is that card? It's just so bad. It's such an unusable card. So yeah, I saw the ratings. To be honest, with the large majority of them are just crap. Joe Layton's a 75 somehow. How is he a 75? He's had the best year of his career. So yeah, if you guys want to see me react to the Newcastle United FIFA 23 ratings, make sure to stick it down in the comment section. I do a video just dedicated to them. But yeah, I thought I'd put it in the screen now. Bruno's leaked rating is out, and it's just a terrible card. And Bruno is obviously not happy with himself. I mean, what a load of crap that is. Updates on the injured players now. Can Bruno and Saint-Maximin play against Bournemouth on Saturday? So this part of the video is actually dedicated to Will, and he asked me yesterday to go to the training ground and check myself. But yeah, thank you, Will. This part's for you, yeah. So first off, Bruno is definitely training. He has been pictured training. He spoke at NUFC TV last week for the West Ham game and said he wasn't sure if he could make the game. I always said at that point he was fine to play. And this week going on now, I expect him to start. I don't think there's any issues with him whatsoever. I think he'll be straight in the starting 11 against Bournemouth. As for Saint-Maximin now, I'm not too sure on him actually. I don't know if he's been trained. As far as I'm aware, he has been, but he's a bit further away from Bruno. I believe he'd be in the rounders squad on Saturday, but it could potentially be a case that the club might just put him out of the team just because it's Bournemouth. Not risking for that game. With all due respect to Bournemouth, who should be beating him with or without Saint-Maximin. So it might be a case that the club just gives him the game off. But I'm not sure on that one. I believe he's fine. I've stood by that. I believe he is fine for the game. I'm just not sure if he gets selected or not. That's another question. Let's talk about the brand new signing now. The player that is set to join Newcastle United. 17-year-old Garang Kuol. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I'm wrong. But yeah, 17 years old, he can only just buy scratch cards and his kid's going to sign for Newcastle United. Wow, definitely not jealous of that one. So let's talk about him now. So the kid all the way from Australia is set to join the club in January according to beIN Sports, but it has been confirmed elsewhere. So it's not just beIN Sports, but they dropped the exclusive on this one. Now, there's one really interesting part about this that I want to talk about as well. But yeah, he's 17-year-old, but his wages is expected to be £25,000 a week at Newcastle United. What? £25,000 a week. So essentially what this deal means is he's going to sign in January, but he's actually going to stay until the end of the season, I believe. Then he's going to go out on loan again. So the club is slowly working him up. A bit like Eddie Anderson, where he worked with a different club. But I expect this player to be a first team sign. I expect him, whether it takes 1 year, 2 years, however many years it be, when he comes back to Newcastle, he will get first team football. He will be expected to be in and around the first team. Will train under Eddie Howe. He'll be with all the players. I expect him to be the exact same as Eddie Anderson will. He'll be somebody that will slowly work it over time into the first team. Now, the only video I've seen of this kid is his performance against Barcelona. So essentially the Australian All-Stars played against Barcelona in the summer and he came off the bench and just destroyed the full team at 17. So yeah, a huge prospect, somebody that I think in the long term will be a very good player. With all due respect to our attacking players, he should be getting around there, to be honest. There's some players in there that are expected to score 2-3 goals a season in the Premier League. So if he can just beat that, he'll be an improvement on what we have. And you would think in a couple of years' time, we should be able to do that. So yeah, this could potentially be the Ekitike replacement. I mean, not replacement, but somebody that is going to become the next Ekitike at Newcastle. He was a massive player. He wanted a really young player that's going to work over time. But obviously that didn't happen. So this could potentially be the replacement to that. As far as I'm aware, there has been no player in Newcastle United youth history that has came into the football club on £25,000 a week. I mean, that in the past was a first team wage. So I fully believe from that alone is a clear indication that he is meant to be for the first team. Now, even at 17 years old, he is expected to make Australia's national team for the next qualifying games. I mean, what do I say? He's got anything in the world on his hands at 17. He's got a seriously bright future. I'm surprised it isn't our teams going in for him. That might be why Newcastle offered that much money just to get him in straight away. But he's a player the club believes in. I believe over the next couple of years, he will be in and around the first team. That is the plans of the club. I fully class this as a first team sign just due to the fact that he's on 25 grand a week. And there's no chance how they come on 25 grand a week and just be an under 23 player. I mean, think about Santiago Muniz, for example. He came in and he's already going back at December time. The club has not decided to sign him. They've got no interest in signing him. He'll go back to Mexico. And you just think about that sort of sign. Like, why do we sign him? Just because he's called Santiago Muniz. That's the only reason I thought we signed the kid. I watched him a lot. He's an okay player, but he's just never going to progress. He's just never really going to hit the Newcastle ranks. So, yeah, you think about that sort of sign, and you realise you've got this kid with 25 grand a week. So, yeah, straight away, I just believe he's a first-team sign, just based off the fact of that. I wish I could sit here and tell you more about the player, but I just don't know anything about him. I'm not going to lie, I don't watch Australian League football. I couldn't tell you anything about him. But very ambitious from the club. You've seen already with Dan Ashford how he's signing a lot of youth players. And in this case, yes, I believe he's not meant for the youth squad. But it just shows how the sort of mindset of the club's changed. How we are going out and trying to sign the world's best prospect players. So yeah, very ambitious from the club. I'm looking forward to see what he does. It'll take a while. I expect him for next couple of years to be out on loan. Just build himself up in about 1920. That's when I expect him to hit the first team. So yeah, I'm playing a long game here, but I think it's a good game we're playing. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Of course, we've got Bournemouth on Saturday. I think it's the last video now where I can talk about them before the game itself. So, what are my thoughts for the game? As I said a couple of times in this video, it should be a win. If it's anything less than 3 points, I will be angry because the Cats have been very good this season, but we just haven't got as many points as we could potentially have done. With the exception of the Brighton game, I think in every single match we played well. So, I mean, we've only won one in, 6-7 games? I think we could have got maybe 1 or 2 more. Maybe me being greedy, but I think we had a very good start this season. And if we play like that every single game, we'll just win more and more. It's just natural. So, yeah, I think the club's done a great job so far. I expect us to beat Bournemouth. I don't know who's going to play, but whoever plays, just get the job done. We've got an international break afterwards. That's 2 weeks to rest. We come back stronger against, I think it's Fulham away next. So, yeah, a couple of very big games. But yeah, guys, let me know your score predictions down below, as I said in the intro. And also let me know your thoughts on everything I've said in this video. Thank you all for watching. Take care. And yes, I will see you all in the next one.